here's a look at a play we call jet ISO. Now this is our main complement off of our jet sweep. Now this play is out of our shotgun wing T jet series. We have a playbook and a really good clinic. I'll put the link in the description or in a YouTube card up top so you could check that out. But let's get into the play. Let me first off start by saying that you have to establish jet sweep for this play to really work. Once you gut teams with jet sweep, what they'll do is they'll start widening out defenders. You'll see them widen out the DN. Well, you'll see them widening out the outside linebacker. So once they start doing that, and they say, okay, these guys are not going to beat us with jet sweep. Let's set the edge. Let's really get defenders wide and force this back in. That's when we gut them with this play. Now, first off, I want to go over the formation, and then we'll go over the motion timing and all that. Now, this formation we call heavy right. Heavy right would tell our left tackle that he is going to line up to the right. If we hear heavy left, our right tackle lines up to the left. All right, so the over tackle just goes to the heavy side. Now, on our jet sweep, we compress our split end. We'll crack here. We'll arc for this linebacker here, and we'll tunnel the corner. Just so guys get a little insight into how jet's blocked, and then this will kind of make a little sense how we'll use that leverage against them. So a lot of times they'll widen their contained player out, maybe even this kid, roll the corner out. Once they do that, that's when we hit this. So now we are going to get an automatic double team on the play side defensive end. Okay, and I'm going to show you this versus an even defense, an odd defense. Okay, and then I'm going to show you jet ISO, which is a hammer. Jet ISO hammer, which is a tag for us. But versus an odd front, and then this is obviously an even front. The guard's covered. So we're going to get a double team on the D end, and it's very important that on the double team, that if this DN wants to slant out, that's fine, take him that way. Just stay on the double team. If he wants to slant wide and try to cross our face, fine. Stay on the double team and just drive him that way. Right? Ideally, you want to drive him back and down, right? But that's not really, doesn't really happen very often. They're going to slant some way. A lot of times they'll slant out. And you'll see on the game film how our double team players do a really good job taking him where he wants to go. So it's important to keep in mind that if this DN slants out, his lead path on ISO is a little bit tighter. So you got to understand that your 2 is going to lead a little bit tighter if this DN slants out. Okay, just because the point of attack is here or at the 6 hole doesn't necessarily mean it's going to hit that way. So make sure your 2 understands that, okay, the lane's opening up here. I'm going to lead block through here, and I'm going to ISO this middle linebacker. Okay, so we're going to get a double team here. Right guard's going to block inside over free. No one is inside. Defender over, so we're going to step play side. We're going to base this kid. We're going to block back with our center. Always blocks the backside A-gap defender on ISO or any kind of run play, really. Our left guard's going to block inside over free. On this, we really want him just to cut off the outside linebacker if there's no one over him. All right, we want him to just cut off this kid. If we can't get him, just continue the work back or work up to the safety. Our tight end too, we want to try to cut off pursuing defenders, or you could just have him base the end. It really doesn't matter. Now this motion, he cannot go forward or lean forward until the ball is snapped. The motion needs to stay flat or else you will get an illegal motion penalty. All right, and this is also full speed motion. We are getting this ball full speed while they're standing still. We're getting this ball full speed and it looks like jet sweep all the way to about here, and then we cut in. So from here to here, it looks like jet sweep. So they're going to be widening out and getting into their pursuit lanes on jet, and then we just cut it back. And you'll see how much we cut this back. Now, why this play is so good is because our ball carrier is getting the ball full speed. They're standing still. So when you run jet to your, and these are 2 of our better athletes. Our 2 best players are at our wings. Best athletes are there. So it's a real threat to jet sweep. If you don't widen out, we're going to out leverage you and get the edge and probably score or hit a big run. So that's why when you establish jet sweep, it forces them to do something drastic to stop it, and then you just cut up inside when they're, really trying to sell out to stop jet. So 3-back's going to get the ball full speed. He's going to get behind the 2, and then we're going to cut off the ISO block. So we're going to isolate. We're running ISO, so we're isolating this outside back, or we're not touching him. We're going to lead block. Our 3-back is going to cut right off the butt of the 2. All right, so that's it versus and the stalk. We're going to stalk block the corner. Now here's an odd front. All right, we're going to double team the defensive tackle. Now our rules on the double team: if there's a defender inside the inside shoulder of our tackle here, then we're blocking him, double teaming. So there's a defender, any defender, first level defender, from the outside shoulder down to the inside shoulder of our tackle. That's who we're double teaming. Sometimes the kid will be here, sometimes they'll be here, sometimes they'll be here. All right, so we're going to double team down, and then we're going to wash down. So we're going to double here. We're blocking inside over free. There's no one on our inside gap. No one's over. We're free to cut off this linebacker. Inside over free. We're going to step down because we got an inside guy. We're going to base him. We're going to ISO this linebacker. Our four back aiming point is the inside hip of the contained player. All right, so we're going to step with a nice hard inside leverage step. Engage the defender, flip our hips. Like if this is our sideline, this kid's back needs to be to the sideline where you see his jersey number and his name. So we need to wall off the inside. So inside leverage step, engage, flip our hips, and then run our feet. You gotta, we want to drive this kid out here. So we want to win the leverage, aggressively engage, flip our hips, and then run our feet. We get a stalk block of the corner. We ISO him. 3 gets the ball full speed, cuts off the ISO block, and we go score touchdowns. Now, another way you can block jet ISO is a hammer tag. Hammer tag, nothing changes for anyone else but our tight end and play side wing. Our play side wing, instead of basing out the contained player here, he's going to block down, sort of like a wham. It looks like wham, right? It's like a wham block. So he's going to block down on the DN, he's going to base out. This is good for when this kid's dominant and we really just can't get that inside leverage. You can see our tight end has an inside, already has inside leverage. With jet motion coming here and having inside leverage, this should be a pretty easy kick out block for and this is not a tight end, guys. I'm sorry I didn't change this. Let me change this real quick. Last year, we actually had our tight end as the over guy because he was able to run, block, he was able to do everything. So we didn't want to move our left tackle over, so that's why he was drawn up here. But I recommend, sorry guys, I recommend definitely doing tackle over, especially if you got 2 tackles. For us, our tackles are usually our best kids, best linemen. So I do recommend doing tackle over. But we got a nice leverage for kick out here, and we get a nice wham block here. Because this kid, keep in mind, his head is looking at the ball, right? He's not even going to see this coming, and he's used to getting double teamed. And then so when you kind of block down on him with someone else, it changes it up. So it's just another way to run the same play, right? These two are only switching blocking responsibilities. Obviously, there's no double team. You can move the double team to double him if you want, but it's just switching responsibilities. So that's hammer. So if they hear heavy right, 36 jet ISO, and then they hear hammer, we tag it hammer, that means they're switching. And then the same rules apply for everything else. For everyone else, excuse me. All right, guys, let's get into some game film. Now, I want to point out one thing, that we are a no-huddle team, so we're going to run where we have players, leverage, or numbers advantage. So you could see we have numbers advantage here. And to give you some context on why the defense is aligned like this, I want to tell you. We run buck sweep a lot. So we'll fake our jet sweep, and we'll run buck this way. We absolutely gutted this team with buck. So what they did was they matched our 3 with 3 here, and then they kept this outside inside backer here, and they also have like an overhang. So they're pretty strong against buck. So we see that, okay, we're outnumbered. They want to stop buck, fine, but we have good numbers here. So, having a system of plays that all complement each other, that's the idea. That's what you want to do. Because our buck will fake jet sweep this way. We'll hand back on buck. Both guards will pull. So we'll go away from our motion. So they're kind of sitting on buck. Fine. We can't run buck into that. It's not great. But we'll just gut you with jet and jet power. And then they took their best kid. This kid was pretty good. And they moved him to our 3-man surface side. So they took their best linebacker and their best D tackle, tell them to follow the strength, and they kept these 3 kids here. So that was their answer for it. It didn't work out well for them. So I want you to see that we do a pretty good job on the double team here. I'm pretty sure this kid slants out, and our 2 kids do a great job of just taking him that way. If he really wants to slant and fight outside, just take him that way. All right? Because he's kind of doing us a favor. So, and then our 4 bases out this kid, does a good job basing him out. You could see how jet motion influences him to widen, influences him to widen. And then this kid's sitting on Buck, so he's late for his cutback lane. So you guys, you could just see he's sitting on Buck. So it's, Buck sets up jet sweep sets up Buck, jet sweep sets up jet power. So all these plays complement each other. And again, we have a link to this playbook in the description. It's our gun T offense. It's nasty, guys. It's nasty. All right, so we get a good double team. Center's gonna block back. We're gonna block here, and this is the kid we're ISOing, and we're gonna stalk block the corner. So let me run the playthrough. Seam, boom, bye bye. Touchdown, Rebels. We're a little late on our double team. Our left tackle doesn't engage. He's a little late on that double team. Here's a little coaching point for you guys too. This was the first game of the year, so nothing. Obviously, it's not perfect. But what we did later in the year was sometimes we had trouble fitting our double team, kind of getting hip to hip and driving. What we did, our splits are 2 foot across the board here with our alignment. So what we would do is we'd have him cheat down the 1 foot split so they could get tight on their double team and the kids can't split it, right? Because if there's separation from the two blockers, they're gonna split that. So we want to get hip to hip and drive. But you see, they do a great job of his kid slants out. Let's just take them that way. Do a good job basing out and go. But guys, why this play so good? Is guys, this is our three. This was our best kid. We had a decent backfield. Our two wings are our two best players. They are good athletes. They're best overall, like running backs. So we'll fake. Not, I'm sorry. We'll hand on Jet, and he's out. So what this does is, since he's getting the ball full speed, they're standing still. He's gonna break arm tackles. These kids are not gonna be able to tackle him. This kid's sitting on Buck. He's he's cross keying to this kid, so he's late on his cutback. But think about it, guys. He's full speed. These kids are not. So any cut or nice move is going to get him in space to score. These kids are not going to arm tackle him. He's at full optimal speed on top of being a pretty good player. These kids aren't, so they're not going to arm tackle him. So you could say, yeah, they have kids here, they miss tackles. Yeah, but they're not going to tackle my best player while he has the ball full speed and they're half speed and influenced by motion. So they're taking bad pursuit paths. They're influenced by motion. They don't know if we're going to run Buck, and our ball carrier is getting the ball going full speed. Yeah, there's players here, but they're not going to tackle him flat-footed like that. So benefit of jet sweep, benefit of jet ISO is that player gets the ball full speed, they're standing still. They're not going to have strong tackles. They're going to try to reach, and we're going to run right through that crap, and we're going to score. Now our two-back does a great job of seeing, okay, the holes here, this D end slanting out. He does a good job of inserting himself in here to block this kid. And then our back does a great job cutting off the back, the lead block of our two back. So he does a good job leading our back through inside here. And like I said, look, he's coming downhill full speed. These kids are just trying to close the distance. Nice cut in, boom. You can see he's getting the ball so fast. This kid feels like I have to open up and get over the top to get there. You put your foot in the ground, cut across the grain, you're done. They're done. That's why this play's so nasty, guys. And then we're out. Good hustle by 50. Trying to run him now. All right, let's look at this play. Another good play here. Boom. Bye. Touchdown. All right, let's take a look at this. All right, you can see the same alignment. They're blitzing backside. Again, they're sitting on Buck. They have 3/3 gaps. So on Buck, our center's blocking backside A, so we go do a good job blocking him. Our guard takes the blitzer. Our tackle bases this D end here. And this kid's just useless on the play. So now our guard does a great job. You can see he's small. We're undersized at guard for sure this year. But he does a good job firing out and maintaining leverage. Like he seals off the play side. Whereas I want you guys to see something here. It's hard to tell. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is our guard. You could see he does a good job of firing out and getting enough of this kid, but he needs to be here. This kid was inside of him, so he should have just blocked down and maintained the leverage, protect the hole. So he didn't. His hands inside there. That's a good block. All right, so let's get back to here. All right, we do a good job with the blitz. You could see, boom, nice fire out step. His head's to the hole. It's a little high. I would have liked him down a little bit, especially small. But you could see we got the nice arc in the back, sinking our hips, sky in our eyes, and running our feet. Oh, sorry. It's a really good block. Boom, in here, great job. Because if he doesn't finish that block and really maintain his leverage, this kid would have came off the block and tackled him here. So you could see the distance in our double team's not great here. We get a good kick out here. We get a good stalk here. It's not great. We need to be almost hip to hip here. But they do a good job. If he wants to slant, fine. We'll block him straight up and we'll seal off the inside right here. So boom. Look at the seal off here. We got a kick out here. We got a stalk here. Got a great double team here. Our two back is lead blocking for the middle backer. We get a great job by this guard. I mean, look at this, guys. This is beautiful. Double team base out, kick out here. Guard does a great job stepping play side, walling off that backside. Play side. Good ISO block. You could see he's getting the ball full speed, guys. They're not full speed. And he's late in his run fit because he's sitting on Buck. Again, this is how, like, if you want to come out and stop our Buck, like, it'd be hard to run Buck into this. It's 3/4. Like, we wouldn't have numbers or leverage advantage. So running Buck into this would not be great, but Jet Power will. So defenses can line up any way they want. There's nothing they can do. Good ISO block. I like the decisiveness by our two back two here. It's a really good block. You see he's not breaking down, guessing which way he's going. I'm going to attack this block, force this kid to pick a side, and I'm going to block him that way. So this is a hell of a block by our two back, right? There's no indecisiveness. Yes, he's a little over aggressive, but he does a good job attacking the block. He wants to go out that way, fine. He tries to bang it back in. I hit him. Everyone else is standing still. He's full speed. Boom, we cut back across the grain. We're gone. Another touchdown. All right, this one's not as clean. All right, couple things on this one. Yeah, it was a touchdown run, so I really shouldn't be mad. But there's a lot wrong here, especially that this is later in the season. So this is just not great. First thing I want to point out. So yes, this play scored, but there's a lot here that you shouldn't do when you're installing this play. All right, this kid, smaller kid, good athlete, really good football player. But guys, is this fast jet sweep motion? Is that really scaring or threatening the edge? 3/4 speed motion? It's not. I know he knows he has to downshift, so he doesn't want to really go full speed and then stop, and then so he wanted to kind of keep control, which I get. But guys, we need to be faster. Let's downshift a little bit closer to the quarterback. Okay, we want this full speed. We want to go because look, you could see we motioned all the way to about here. This motion to them is not influencing them to widen out, right? No one's widening out really. They're widening out after he takes the handoff. So if this was fast motion, he would widen out, and that would create easier kick out blocks. All right, so first things first, guys, we need faster motion here. Number two, our get off on this double team is really good, but we stop. We turn around and look for the ball. Not sure why. And he's a little over aggressive, our left tackle here. Our guard does a good job basing that inside defender. Center's blocking the kid, slanting over. Guard's working here. Our right tackle stepping down, replacing the guard's down block. So that's good. And they're really overloaded to stop Buck again too. So, but we do a good job of stepping down and cutting this off, and then these kids don't matter. So, watch the double team. It's not great. Great fire out, but he overshoots it, almost holds them, and then turns back and looks for the ball. Like, guys, we got to engage this double team here and stay on it. These two should have been right here. They have outside leverage on him. We got to wash this kid down into somewhere into here. Maybe we block into him. Maybe we wash him down into a linebacker. We whiff. It's just not a great down block. And you can see we cheat to 1-foot splits here. Now, another thing. I would have liked to see our play side wing up and in a little more to give him that inside leverage to kick out. Now you can see it looks like jet sweep, which does enough to force this kid to get to his contain, and then we base him inside. So it's a good run. It's a good block fit here. I would have liked to see him tighter on the inside hip, because if this kid did a better job of ripping underneath, and he may have impacted the player, grab this kid. So I would have liked to see our back on the inside hip here. But honestly, it's really not a bad block. He's trying to finish his block. He's running his feet. He stays on the block. It's still a pretty good block. A little bit tighter. You shouldn't be on that inside hip, but that's really not bad. Split end does a nice block. Here's a nice move, cutting across the grain. Boom, go. Now, let me tell you about the good and bad here. The good is that this safety was flying that way over the top of jet sweep. Now, when our jet power banged back like the other two clips, he had to turn himself all the way around and catch up to this kid. That's why he got cut up. His pursuit angle was bad. He overran the ball, not great here. But this bad pursuit path was forced because he thought it was jet sweep that way, and he had to hustle to recover and ended up overrunning it and gets cut up. Now that's the good about the play. What I don't like about this play, look where the ball is, guys. We work on this a lot, and this kid got a lot for this in film. This ball right here, guys, this is very important. This is like, I'm not happy showing this. It annoys me because we practice this. As soon as we're here, we know we're going outside. All the defenders are to our inside. We need to move that ball to the outside hand, guys. This is not good. They very well could have tackled through the football and made them fumble. We need to get this ball on our outside hand, wrist above elbow, and then as soon as contact may come, even if we're cutting in, we need to cover the football. So I don't like that the football is not in the outside arm. We want to slide that across, hand underneath, take the ball here. You could see, like, if this kid tracked the near hip and tackled through our player, you could have punched that ball, man. So this is not great. I need that ball in an outside hand. But it's a great run, great football player, great finish by this kid. Nice move to cut up, boop, nice little run, touchdown.